On this episode of The Wretched Wrench, we go to France, specifically the island of Corsica, so we can drive our 1988 Chevrolet Corsica. And if you had a car like this, you were sure to be in an international relationship. Guaranteed. This lady's has something to say about the Corsica, and so does this goober. Here's goober number 3. Look at him. He looks happy. I don't know why. This lady needs something that's not so boxy. And if you got a ranch, you know you gotta have a Corsica.
Look, Grandpa, look at the Corsica. Oh, it looks nice, honey.
If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And yeah, it's smoking. If you're not already convinced to buy the Corsica, stick around to the end of the video and watch the comparison. Listen to what these guys gotta say.
It's not a look-alike car.
It's got the beautiful rounded aerodynamic shape, smooth lines.
I think it's a much better looking car than any of the other cars that we looked at today.
I like the way it's shaped because of aerodynamics. It's going to give you a lot better fuel efficiency. Plus, it keeps up with today's times and today's market.
The island of Corsica, off the Mediterranean coast of France. Distinct, unique, an island apart from the masses. Chevrolet introduces an all-new Corsica, Chevrolet Corsica. Different from the mass of compact cars, as apart from the crowd as the island that shares its name. Chevrolet Corsica, capturing a sophisticated worldly flavor. A car for those who expect more from a family compact. Chevrolet Corsica, a fresh new image of quality that speaks for itself. Chevrolet Corsica. Raise your expectations.
The styling of a car really matters to me. I don't want it to be boxy.
Come on. All compact cars are compact on the passengers, aren't they?
Even though I have a family, I still want a car that's fun to drive.
I want something with a little more special look.
Today's compact car buyers are raising their expectations. They want something that doesn't look compact or feel compact. The 1988 Chevrolet Corsica has risen to the occasion. From the smooth, fluid shape of its quad halogen headlamps and sloping hood, semi-flush side glass and doors that smooth into the roofline, to the contoured shape of the full-length deck lid and the wide wraparound tail lamps, Corsica raises expectations in high style. And Corsica stands out from the crowd without crowding you. Inside is your own family room with seating for 5 that lets you stretch out. Plush front bucket seats recline, feature adjustable headrests and special suspension systems to minimize road vibration. All Corsicas make shopping sprees and luggage easy to take with 13.5 cubic feet of trunk space. Inside, Corsica raises attention. And it's a family car that pampers the family with thoughtful conveniences all about, including a new rear seat shoulder harness system that adds security for your passengers. And the available CL model puts your smaller portables close by with a variety of handy stowage compartments inside. Many controls are pod-mounted and easy to reach. And a soft feel steering wheel absorbs vibration and conveniently houses optional electronic speed controls. In fact, the options you want, from power this to Luxo that, are available to add that touch of class to your Corsica. But first and foremost, Corsica was designed to make life easier, to be a valued family member. One way Corsica proves its value is in its fuel efficiency and operating economy. It slips through the wind with a drag coefficient less than 0.33, lower than most compacts in its class. This translates into impressive economical performance from the standard 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, a second-generation design with many refinements, including a new throttle body electronic fuel injector for quick starts and good acceleration. Another way Corsica proves its value is over the road, whether or not it's paved. Traction stays sure with standard all-season steel-belted radial tires and front-wheel drive. The ride stays smooth and comfortable with standard power steering, power brakes, and McPherson strut independent front suspension. Corsica stays looking good with outer body protection built in, including lower rocker panel moldings that deflect the punishment of gravel and wheel wash that could cause paint nicks. And Corsica's body surrounds you and your family with a quiet confidence due to the structural integrity of its outer body shell. A body that comes together in one of the most highly advanced automated assembly facilities worldwide. Stand back and watch the sparks fly. Computer-programmed robots put strength and integrity into key welds. Lasers break their former boundaries. The first use of laser welding in automotive line production brings Corsica's roof and quarter panel together. Throughout assembly, Big Brother is watching. Computer scanning and vision systems verify Corsica's body integrity, assuring precise tolerances between components. If a body doesn't pass this century's test, it doesn't pass, period. To help ensure your Corsica withstands the elements, all exterior panels below the roof are stamped from two-sided galvanized metal with an ultra-smooth surface and given a complete immersion in corrosion inhibitor Uniprime, the latest generation of zinc-rich primer. Every surface, every niche protected. The finishing touch happens here in Corsica's modular paint shop, one of the most advanced paint systems in the world. Each Corsica body is held stationary in a climate-controlled modular booth, while computer-guided robots methodically cover every exposed surface with a high solids enamel base coat. Next, a brilliance-enhancing clear top coat, designed to resist fading and chipping, is applied in a separate climate-controlled module. This two-layer technique assures more uniform paint thickness, avoids runs and streaks, and gives a rich, deep luster. And unlike many competitors, with Corsica, base coat clear coat is provided for all colors. Corsica's good looks are protected further by wide body-side moldings trimmed in black, complemented by large wraparound bumper fascias. Corsica was also designed to give you an excellent window on the world. The wide glass area provides a clear view of life around you. There's a clear view under the hood too for improved serviceability. Key fluid checks are easy to see, clearly labeled, and easy to reach. Corsica LT, a road sedan with a passion. A passion for fashion, with sporty black and red accents bumper to bumper. And dual sport mirrors that add a racy look. A passion for the road, with 14-inch styled steel wheels and sticky P195 tires that grip the pavement. Plus, a beefier sport suspension with a large rear stabilizer bar that keeps the ride tight through the curves. A passion for excitement with a sport steering wheel that fits your hand like a glove. Available full-gauge backlit instrumentation that tracks engine functions at a glance. And with the optional custom interior, contoured lateral support bucket seats in special cloth trim. Put more horses under LT's hood with an available 2.8-liter engine. A second-generation multi-port injected design that feeds fuel directly to all 6 cylinders at their intake ports. Put that power in your fist with a sporty Getrag 5-speed manual that offers precise shift feel, or an available convenient 3-speed automatic. Chevrolet Corsica for 1988, a family compact that's raising family expectations about what a car should be. Raise your expectations.
People who sell cars are critical judges of a vehicle's quality, comfort, dependability, roominess, and value. They have to be. Their credibility is on the line with every prospect. And by nature, they're not shy. They'll tell you what they like, where a car falls short, and where it excels. To judge how the all-new Chevy Corsica compares to the competition, 8 of these key critics, Chevrolet salespeople from around the country, came to Phoenix, Arizona for a ride and drive evaluation. The competition, world-respected nameplates, Honda Accord, Mazda 626, Toyota Camry, and Nissan Stanza. As drivers rotated through all the cars, they were able to compare and evaluate power and performance, interior room, layout and overall quietness, convenience and ease of driving. The route, 180 miles long, included a variety of driving conditions, providing a real-world basis for comparison. Following a full day on the road, the salespeople regrouped the next day, in part to review additional features like trunk space, engine compartment layouts, fit and finish, and styling and appearance, and in part to share their observations and their reactions to the vehicles.
First thing I noticed about the Corsica when comparing it to these other cars was the passenger room and comfort, as well as the driver's space. Good room for your feet, a nice dash setup, plenty of room inside compared to any others. I felt confined in the other vehicles.
The Corsica seat seemed to be designed for Americans. The Japanese cars seemed to have seats that were designed for smaller people, and consequently for me they weren't as comfortable. In most cases they were. They did give pretty good support, but they felt kind of uncomfortable. I don't think I'd like to drive a long distance in them.
The Camry Toyota, I felt choked, closed in. I wasn't comfortable at all.
The seat design on the Corsica is quite comfortable. If you compare it to, say, the Honda or the Toyota Camry or the Mazda 626, I think the Corsica give you a much better and a more comfortable ride.
I really liked the Corsica. The car, my overall impression is the car rode well. It was quick handling, had good smooth power, and I was really impressed the fact it was quiet on acceleration.
I couldn't believe I was driving a 4-cylinder car. The Corsica had no trouble getting up the hills or around the curves. It was really, really impressive.
But after driving the 4-cylinder, which I felt was very responsive, with a manual transmission, I'm sure that the V6 with an automatic would be absolutely fantastic on the freeway.
The Nissan had the least power of any of the cars that we drove.
The Camry is definitely underpowered.
The Corsica had excellent power. In fact, I don't think you'd have any trouble pulling a boat or anything with the Corsica. It responded real well and accelerated real well.
I found the engine power of this four-cylinder Chevy Corsica very, very peppy and a nice, smooth, quiet ride. Especially uphill is much peppier than the Toyota Camry or the Mazda 626. Just a nice, quiet, peppy engine.
I was most impressed with the way the Corsica handled its suspension. It was a lot sportier than any of these other cars.
The Corsica handled excellent in hairpin turns.
But it really impressed me was the quickness of steering on the Corsica. You turn the wheels almost like an IROC Z in its quickness. Where the other cars, they were quick, but they weren't as quick.
Well, the thing I like most about the Corsica was mainly the way it shifted. It shifted real well as compared to the Toyota Camry or the Nissan Stanza or the 626. You don't have that clunk like you do in the other cars.
The Mazda was hard to shift. It didn't feel good. The Nissan didn't feel that great in shifting.
The manual transmission on the Corsica was really well synchronized. The Mazda and the Nissan were very difficult to shift. You had to downshift all the way to second to get up most of the steeper grades. The Corsica had no problem getting through the mountains.
Well, the Corsica was certainly the most aerodynamic of all of the cars I drove. It's a new body style. It looks new. It's not a look-alike car.
It's got the beautiful rounded aerodynamic shape, smooth lines.
I think it's a much better looking car than any of the other cars that we looked at today.
I like the way it's shaped because of aerodynamics. It's going to give you a lot better fuel efficiency. Plus, it keeps up with today's times and today's market.
The Stanza lacked personality. It's yesterday's technology.
I found the Stanza to be very plain Jane on the inside. I was very disappointed in this car for as much as I've heard about it. It was plain, the interior was cheap looking, the car was extremely noisy on the inside. Road noise and engine noise was very annoying. Even the radio didn't drown it out.
The Nissan is probably the cheapest vehicle. It has the most road noise. I didn't like the handling. The room I didn't like. There really wasn't anything about it I liked.
Toyota was well built. It had a lot of features. It had a lot of bells and whistles. It had a very high price tag.
Surprised at how the lack of power in the Toyota Camry.
The Camry really lacked aggressiveness. Again, especially in the steeper grades, it just didn't want to get up the hills at all. You had to really punch it to get it to go.
I found the Mazda to be a basic car, a basic transportation, an uninteresting car, not an exciting car to drive at all.
I think probably the weakest thing on the Mazda is the acceleration. It lacks acceleration, and it does not give you a lot of room on the inside.
The Mazda's overall interior appeared very chintzy to me. It was not well seamed. The fabric was very light grade. It just didn't have a very luxurious feel to it at all.
The Mazda's another noisy car. Road noise, engine noise. It was not a pleasant car to ride in.
Of all the cars we drove, the Honda was the closest competitor to the Corsica. The Honda was well finished. It was a responsive car. I felt a little cramped in the Honda. I did not feel that in the Corsica.
The noise level in the Honda was higher than the Corsica.
The Honda Accord's got outdated styling, whereas the Corsica is more futuristic. It's more in times with today's market.
It's got a beautiful design. I think women would be very interested in the design. They would be proud to be an owner.
If you were a family and 2 or 3 kids, I think the Corsica would give you a lot of room, not only in the front, but also the rear, and it also gives you quite a amount of trunk space.
Well, I think the Corsica would be more aimed towards the middle-class families, typically women drivers, but you're going to sell a lot to the business community also.
I think the biggest selling advantage that Corsica offers over all of the competitors is its newness. It is new technology. It's a car that is like no other car. The design, the aerodynamics are a real knockout, and I really think that's what makes people buy cars. If they look great, they'll buy them.
The Corsica overall styling is very unique, and I think it will be quite a seller for Chevrolet.
Our customers are going to like the interior room, the styling, the handling of the car, and the power that it has available.
The instrumentation on it is really easy to read, and it's really easy to operate on the Corsica.
The front visibility, the driver's visibility through the windshield in the Corsica is great. It's different than any other car I've ever driven.
It handles very well. The engine is superior, I think, to any of the others I drove.
As the Corsica is stylish, it's roomy, offers aerodynamics, good power, it's quiet, excellent comfort in the inside, plenty of roominess, and a huge amount of trunk space is very surprising for a stylish car like that.
It's just a nice, roomy, comfortable riding car. Positions itself very well between the Cavalier and the Celebrity.
It's going to sell real well, mainly because it gives us something that we were missing in the marketplace.
The Corsica was a fun car to drive. I enjoyed it. I would love to own one, and I think a lot of other women and men would like it, especially women.
The Corsica is definitely going to be a winner, and the Corsica is going to sell very well.
You bet. I think we got a real winner in the Corsica.
The compact family sedan market is rich with potential for you. In total, compacts will take more than 17% of all new car sales, with more than 1,800,000 buyers projected for 1987. Now that is a lot of prospects.
Now, it's also a market loaded with competition. There are 15 different nameplates represented in 1987 alone. But there's one vehicle that's going to stand out from the crowd. It's the all-new Chevrolet Corsica.
Now, in the first 3 programs on this video disc, you learned about Corsica's many new features and reasons to buy over the competition. Well, in this program, you'll find out who your buyers are and what they're looking for in a compact family sedan.
We'll also touch on some of the finer points of Corsica technology you can use in your sales presentations with them.
Right, but first, let's take an overview of the market and see just where Corsica fits in Chevrolet's lineup. And of course, to fill you in on that, there's no one better than Chevrolet's General Marketing Manager, Tom Stout.
As I said here at the National Dealer Convention, history has proven time and again that the overall reputation of a new car is by and large established very early in its life cycle. And so it's critical that all of us do our very best work coming right out of the chute to make a good first impression. And remember, you never get a second chance to make a good first impression. Now we're supplying you with the vehicle you need to really make that first impression tremendous. A unique new family car, Corsica, aimed at the very heart of mainstream America. Now this is a Chevrolet exclusive. It's yours to sell, nobody else's. And you need to combine your great selling skills with this car's unique appeal. And quite frankly, you've got an outstanding story to tell to your prospects with this new Corsica. It's the first product from the new CPC organization, designed like no other vehicle before it. It's the most widely researched vehicle probably ever in Chevrolet history. Now this car then has more consumer input up front to meet their demands, yes, their desires, than ever before. Now Corsica is going to reestablish Chevrolet as a major force in the compact market. It fits neatly right in between that Cavalier and Celebrity in the lineup, giving you, I think, a potentially huge source of income. Now, Corsica's image is distinct. It's unlike any other thing on the market. It's going to recapture former Citation owners, and I promise you, it will stand out from the mass of competitive compact cars on the market. Now, Corsica shouldn't rob sales from Cavalier and Celebrity. It won't need to. There are enough other prospects out there. But we really expect you to continue your strong selling job on each of them. But as for cars like Ford Tempo, Toyota Camry, Plymouth Reliant, well, they've had a free ride long enough. And we'll use Corsica to cannibalize their lineup to eat those guys' lunch instead of our own. Now, who are the buyers? Well, we're not going to strictly categorize them into one confined, narrow group. No, this car has too much appeal for that. But the research shows that the typical family sedan buyer is probably between 30 and 45 years old. He's married with perhaps a couple of preteens, and half of them will probably be women, and that's very important to all of us. Now, they're also very brand conscious. They look to the nameplates that stand for traditional value, so they'll look long and hard at Chevrolet. Now, what are they looking for? Well, basic family transportation, yes, but they want more than just that. They want style and personality in a car, something they'll be proud to have in their driveways. And one look at Corsica leaves no doubt at all that we'll fill that bill. Now, what else do you have to sell? Well, for starters, the roomiest interior in the compact class, and it beats every competitor in overall room and comfort. And there's true seating for 5 here, and that's not just wishful thinking. You've also got one of the most efficient compact cars in its class. Affordability, that's a big reason to buy for this market. And with its standard power team, Corsica's EPA ratings of 25 city, 34 highway are among the very best there are in a compact. Now, that's going to mean fewer stops at the fuel pump and more miles to the dollar. Now, of course, if it's extra muscle buyers want, you've got one of the only V6s available in a compact, and with the best horsepower rating among its chief competition, bar none. So sell the new Corsica with pride. It's a unique vehicle that stands out from the compact car clutter. And combined with your selling skills, it's a vehicle that can make that first buyer impression a really lasting one.
Tom Stout referred to the 3 keys that will attract buyers to the Corsica: overall style, room and comfort, and affordability. We saw how Corsica satisfies the first 2 requirements in the earlier programs. Now we'll concentrate on that last point. What makes Corsica truly affordable in your buyer's mind? Dave?
One of the reasons Corsica is so affordable is this: the standard 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It's a second-generation design with all new features that make life easier on the pocketbook. At the heart of the engine is this: a new Multec fuel injector. It gives a boost to overall fuel economy by spraying a much finer fuel pattern into the manifold. Less fuel is wasted, meaning greater efficiency. This new injector is also more resistant to clogging, allowing the engine to run on most any grade of unleaded fuel.
Another difference is right here: the single serpentine drive belt. It's modeled after the system on a Corvette that eliminates 2 belts and helps reduce maintenance and replacement costs. There's also an automatic belt tensioner that eliminates adjustments, extending the belt's lifespan.
And say goodbye to the conventional distributor. The computer-controlled coil ignition system located here eliminates it by using the electronic control module to calculate the precise spark timing. Your buyers benefit from improved starting performance and less parts to service, meaning easier tune-ups.
A car that's easy to maintain also translates into affordability. So the story continues under Corsica's hood, and literally one glance tells the story. All the fluid checks and fills are clearly labeled, easy to see and reach, such as coolant, windshield washer fluid, power steering, and there's no stretch to get to the oil. Here's the place to check the level and add more if required.
And there are other little serviceability touches. For example, new quad halogen headlamps use replaceable bulbs instead of traditional seal beams. Replacement is simple, by just turning 2 lock tabs located here above the headlamps and folding the cover back. And there are no special tools needed to replace the bulbs. There's also an impact-resistant coating on the headlamp lens to protect the bulbs from stone damage and road debris.
Now, anyone who's spent time on their hands and knees stretching to replace fuses will find another thoughtful touch here. Corsica's fuse compartment is conveniently located on the side of the instrument panel. Just pop it open and replace the necessary fuse.
There's other under-the-skin technology that adds to Corsica's quality and affordability. Check your other reference materials, including the new products album and the audio cassette, for the full Corsica story.
They'll help you put Corsica at the top of the sales chart in compact cars.
And make a difference in your commissions.
It's the heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevrolet. Hey, y'all like this one? Let me know. Leave some comments. Thanks for watching, guys.